Q3530-1. Which statement about longitude and latitude is true? A. Lines of longitude are parallel to the equator. B. Lines of longitude cross the equator at right angles. C. The 0 degrees line of latitude passes through Greenwich, England. The correct answer is B. Longitude and latitude are geographical coordinates used to specify locations on the Earth's surface. Lines of longitude, also known as meridians, are imaginary vertical lines that run from the North Pole to the South Pole and are used to measure east-west positions. These lines converge at the poles and are not parallel to the equator. On the other hand, lines of latitude, also known as parallels, are imaginary horizontal lines that run parallel to the equator and are used to measure north-south positions. The equator itself is a line of latitude located at 0 degrees, and it divides the Earth into the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. When considering the relationship between lines of longitude and the equator, it is important to note that lines of longitude intersect the equator at right angles. This means that at each point where a line of longitude crosses the equator, it does so perpendicularly. This intersection occurs at a 90-degree angle, forming a right angle. Therefore, the correct statement is that lines of longitude cross the equator at right angles, signifying their perpendicular intersection. 2106. During VFR navigation without radio instruments, heading and ground speed, as calculated by dead reckoning, should be constantly monitored and corrected by A. Pilotage as observed from checkpoints. B. The wind triangle. C. Wet compass and the ground speed indicator. The correct answer is A. In the absence of radio instruments, VFR navigation relies on visual references and dead reckoning calculations. Pilotage, which involves visually observing landmarks, checkpoints, and other visual references along the planned route, plays a crucial role in monitoring and correcting the heading and ground speed. By regularly observing checkpoints, which are predetermined visual references along the route, a pilot can compare their estimated position based on dead reckoning with the actual position indicated by the checkpoints. Any deviations can be detected and corrected by adjusting the heading and ground speed accordingly. Pilotage serves as a continuous cross-checking method during the flight, allowing the pilot to visually confirm their position and make real-time adjustments to stay on course. It helps to prevent drifting far off course and ensures that the aircraft maintains the intended heading and ground speed. Therefore, the correct answer is pilotage as observed from checkpoints, as this method allows for constant monitoring and correction of the heading and ground speed based on visual observations during VFR navigation without radio instruments. 2108. For cross-country flights over land, navigation without radio instruments is usually accomplished using dead reckoning and A. Pilotage. B. The wind triangle. C. Compass heading. The correct answer is A. Dead reckoning involves estimating the current position based on a previously known position, using factors such as ground speed, time, and heading. However, to maintain accuracy and prevent significant deviations from the intended course, pilotage is also used. Pilotage refers to visually observing landmarks, checkpoints, and other visual references along the planned route. By identifying and referencing these visual cues, such as prominent landmarks, rivers, roads, or distinctive terrain features, a pilot can verify their position and make necessary corrections to their heading and track. Pilotage serves as a continuous cross-checking method during the flight, allowing the pilot to visually confirm their position and ensure they are on the intended course. By regularly referencing the selected features along the route, the pilot can make real-time adjustments to maintain the desired course and prevent drifting off track. Therefore, for navigation without radio instruments during cross-country flights over land, dead reckoning and pilotage are the primary methods used to estimate the position and make course corrections based on visual observations. 2178. Using pilotage, a pilot can keep from drifting far off course by A. Flying the flight plan heading. B. Filing a flight plan. C. referring to selected features or checkpoints. The correct answer is C. Pilotage is a navigation technique that involves visually observing landmarks, checkpoints, and other selected features along the planned route. By continuously referring to these visual references, such as prominent landmarks, rivers, roads, or distinct terrain features, a pilot can verify their position and make necessary corrections to maintain the desired course. By regularly cross-checking the aircraft's position with the planned route using visual cues, the pilot can detect any deviations from the intended course and make adjustments as needed. This helps to prevent the aircraft from drifting far off course and ensures that the flight stays on track. Therefore, the correct answer is referring to selected features or checkpoints, as this is a key aspect of pilotage that helps pilots maintain their course and prevent significant deviations during the flight. 3637-1, which is true concerning the blue and magenta colors used to depict airports on sectional aeronautical charts. A. Airports with control towers underlying Class A, B, and C airspace are shown in blue. Class D and E airspace are magenta. B. Airports with control towers underlying Class C, D, and E airspace are shown in magenta. C. Airports with control towers underlying Class B, C, D, and E airspace are shown in blue. The correct answer is C. On sectional aeronautical charts, airports with control towers are depicted using different colors to represent the type of airspace they are located in. In this case, the correct statement is that airports with control towers underlying Class B, C, D, and E airspace are shown in blue. The blue color is specifically used to indicate airports with control towers underlying these airspace classes. Class B, C, D, and E are different types of controlled airspace designated by the FAA. Airports located within these airspace classes have control towers to provide air traffic control services. The use of the blue color for depicting airports with control towers makes them easily identifiable on the chart. It helps pilots quickly recognize these airports and their associated airspace characteristics while planning and navigating their flights. Therefore, the correct information is that airports with control towers underlying Class B, C, D, and E airspace are shown in blue on sectional aeronautical charts.